Level 1, negative balance. The notification hits your phone at 3:14 a.m. You unlock the screen, and your stomach completely drops. There it is, a tiny, sharp minus sign sitting right in front of your account balance. You stare at it, hoping that if you refresh the app, the number will fix itself. It doesn't. You overdraft by exactly $4 because of an automatic subscription you forgot was scheduled to hit. The bank doesn't care that it was only $4 or that you need gas money tomorrow. The system only cares about the code. And the code says your balance went below zero, which means you instantly get hit with a $35 overdraft fee. It is the most frustrating loop in modern finance. The penalty for having no money is that the bank takes the little money you have left. You lie there in the dark, too tired to even feel angry. It's just a heavy, quiet stress sitting in your chest. Later that morning, on your way to work, you stop to grab a cheap breakfast sandwich, completely forgetting that your account is already negative. The card goes through, but because you're in the minus column, the system automatically triggers a second $35 fee. Now, you are suddenly $79 in debt to a multi-billion-dollar company, all because of a $4 oversight and a sandwich. At work, you call customer service and spend 10 minutes fighting a robotic voice menu. The hold music loops over, cutting out to give you false hope that a human is answering. The rep answers, reads from a script, and says they can't waive the fees. They promise a manager will call you back within 2 days, but you hang up knowing nobody is going to call. By Thursday, your automated phone bill bounces, adding a $25 failed payment penalty. Your landlord notices your rent check didn't clear and hits you with a $75 late fee. A tiny $4 problem has completely snowballed into a $200 crisis, growing entirely out of your control. You skip lunch to save money, telling your coworkers you already ate a massive breakfast at home. Hunger when you are broke isn't just a physical feeling. It's entirely mental. It's a quiet, embarrassing wait. On Friday, you visit a physical bank branch to try and talk to a real person. You stand in line, wait your turn, and step up to the counter. The young teller types in your account number, looks at her screen, and her entire expression changes. It isn't anger or pity, it's just cold and detached. On her monitor, you are just a digital red flag. You are a bad risk score wearing shoes. The words you wanted to say completely freeze in your throat. Somewhere between the $4 subscription, the unreturned phone calls, and the look on this teller's face, you realize the truth. You don't feel like a customer anymore. You feel like a hassle the bank is waiting to clear out of their system. Level 2, $10,000. It took months of brutal overtime shifts, but you worked yourself to the bone and saved up a clean $10,000. It is the most money you have ever seen in your account at one time. You feel a massive sense of relief, but the bank doesn't send you a prize. However, the automated system does completely change how it treats you. First, that annoying $15 monthly maintenance fee completely vanishes from your ledger. Why? Because your account finally holds the minimum daily balance required to waive it. The bank stops taking your money simply because you have enough of it. Suddenly, real credit card offers start filling your mailbox. These aren't the restrictive cards that require your own cash up front as collateral. These are real, unsecured cards with $5,000 limits. You apply online and get approved in less than a minute. When a stray nail shreds your front tire on a Tuesday morning, you don't panic. You don't have to leave your car behind, ride a public bus for 2 hours, or walk into your job late. You just swipe the new credit card, pay the $200 mechanic bill, and move on with your day. Later that week, you walk into a branch to deposit a check. The teller looks up and says hello with a polite, professional smile. It's not the fake, rigid mask you got when you were broke, but it's not a deep friendship either. You are just a regular, safe customer now. As you leave, you realize the bank never cared about you as a person. They only care about your data. At $10,000, you are finally profitable enough for them to treat you with standard respect. Level 3, $100,000. Crossing into six figures feels completely surreal. Hitting $100,000 means you log into your app just to stare at the comma in the number. The bank's automated algorithms notice this milestone instantly. The very next morning, you get an email from a real person, not a bot. Her name is Sarah, and she tells you she has been officially assigned as your personal priority banker. She gives you her direct phone number and asks to set up a quick call to discuss your high-yield savings options. The bank is suddenly chasing you instead of you chasing them. Your credit card limits are automatically bumped up to $15,000 without you even asking for an increase. When you shop around for a car loan, the interest rate drops significantly. When you were broke, money was incredibly expensive. Now that you have 100 grand, borrowing money gets much cheaper. If a weird $30 administrative fee accidentally shows up on your statement, you don't call the main hotline or wait on hold for 40 minutes. You just send a quick email to Sarah. Within an hour, she replies, "All fixed. I manually took care of it." The exact same fees that used to threaten your budget are now completely optional. When you walk into the local branch, the branch manager waves at you from his office. You don't stand in the long velvet rope line anymore. A staff member guides you to a private desk to handle your transactions quickly. You realize the bank was never actively mean to you when you were struggling. They were just totally indifferent. And to a broke person, institutional indifference feels exactly like cruelty. At $100,000, you are officially a valuable asset. Level 4, $500,000. At $500,000, the bank stops being a building you visit. It turns into a premium service that comes directly to you. Your new senior wealth manager calls your phone directly. He offers to drive out to your office or meet you at a high-end restaurant for lunch. He brings customized financial plans inside a heavy leather folder. He asks about your long-term goals, your tax minimization strategies, and your retirement timeline. During the entire lunch, he never tries to explicitly sell you a specific checking account or loan package. He just listens. You realize that high-level selling is completely different. They don't pitch you products. They offer you consultations. A product is just a quick, one-time transaction to hit a monthly corporate quota. A comprehensive consultation is a psychological framework that makes you fundamentally dependent on their institutional wisdom for the next 20 years. Needing them is worth way more to their bottom line over a lifetime than selling you a single account. If an international wire transfer you send briefly freezes due to a security compliance flag, you don't call an 800 number. You dial a direct line, and an actual human answers on the second ring. The specialist looks at your name, skips the identity interrogation, and manually overrides the flag in 2 minutes while you are still talking. You start getting invited to exclusive golf outings or charity dinners sponsored by the bank. You look around the room at the other clients, and you notice nobody ever talks about money. At $500,000, money isn't the conversation anymore. It's just the invisible table everyone is sitting around. Level 5, $1 million. You hit $1 million, and the bank instantly changes your digital status to private banking client. The prestigious title is stamped right at the top of your mobile dashboard. You didn't do anything heroic to get it, but crossing into 7 figures changes the entire game. Your account is now handled by a private banker named Robert. Robert is incredibly polished and knows your lifestyle inside out. He remembers your daughter's birthday and asks how your dog is doing because you mentioned it once a year ago. He sends handwritten cards to your house, not printed corporate templates. This isn't out of genuine friendship. It's elite corporate training. The bank knows that personal connections keep million-dollar accounts from leaving. When you need a mortgage for a new house, standard published interest rates completely cease to apply to you. Robert takes your financial file straight to a private boardroom, and they build a custom loan rate just for you to help minimize your taxes. The massive $250,000 investment minimums required to enter exclusive venture capital funds are effortlessly waived because your overall relationship with the bank easily justifies the exception. If a competitor offers a better rate, you email Robert. He calls back in 20 minutes with a counteroffer. The bank that used to ignore your calls is now terrified of losing your business. They don't just see you as a millionaire. They see you as an asset they must defend. Level 6, $5 million. At $5 million, you enter a tier where the bank actively starts bending its own rigid rules for you. You don't deal with standard bank branches anymore. You are invited to private offices with no corporate logos on the glass doors, located on the top floors of downtown skyscrapers. The conference tables are made of solid, expensive wood, and the staff treats you like royalty. Imagine walking into a branch in a completely different city where nobody knows your face. The moment they scan your ID, the local branch director runs out of his office to shake your hand. The global database flags your account across every single branch location the exact millisecond your profile is opened, mandating instant, top-tier service before you even open your mouth. The complex paperwork that takes ordinary people 3 weeks to fill out and get approved is verified, signed, and completed in less than 24 hours. Why? Because Robert calls the compliance team directly and tells them exactly whose name is sitting on the document. You are invited to look at private investment deals that never appear on a public prospectus. These are off-market real estate projects and private equity allocations built exclusively for people with your level of capital. The bank doesn't just manage your money anymore. They organize exclusive opportunities around your lifestyle. Level 7, $10 million. With $10 million in the system, you stop being a standard client and start becoming an institutional force. You now have a small, dedicated team of 3 financial professionals inside the bank working entirely on managing your wealth, corporate tax structures, and legal entities. You don't just get access to standard investments. The bank actively builds bespoke deals specifically tailored to your personal timeline. Losing your account would be a major disaster for the regional division. Your primary banker's yearly bonus and career trajectory are directly tied to keeping you satisfied. Because of this, the power dynamic completely flips. You don't ask the bank for favors. They ask you how they can serve you better. The bank's senior executives invite you to private, small group dinners with tech founders and real estate moguls. They don't try to sell you anything. They connect you with other people of massive wealth because they know that networking keeps your money parked in their institution. If you want to fund a massive business venture or buy a commercial building, the loan terms are negotiated over a casual text message while you're on vacation. The standard rules of regular retail banking are completely gone. The bank treats your money with absolute reverence. Level 8, $25 million. At $25 million, you are no longer just a wealthy client. You are an institutional partner. Your account is a specific, named line item inside a senior executive's annual performance review. The bank doesn't just try to keep you happy. The entire regional corporate infrastructure organizes itself to make sure you never have a single reason to look at another financial firm. You don't look at menus or standard terms. Every contract, loan, and investment structure is written line by line from scratch by a team of specialized corporate lawyers just for you. If you want to borrow $10 million to buy a private jet or a massive estate, the terms are settled in a single phone call with the regional president. You do not apply for things. Things actively apply to you. Elite business deals are brought directly to your desk before they are even finalized because the creators want your name attached to the project. But the real change at $25 million isn't the convenience. It's your immense systemic influence. The bank's executive leadership actively consults you. The chief investment officer schedules a private dinner to ask for your personal opinions on global market volatility. The global head of private banking flies out to ask you what kind of features their next generation of wealthy clients will look for from them. You are actively shaping the very trajectory of the multi-billion-dollar institution that once charged you a predatory $35 fee because you didn't have enough money for a cup of coffee. The bank doesn't have a customer at $25 million. They have a partner. Somewhere out there right now, a phone screen lights up a dark bedroom in the middle of the night. Someone is staring down at a digital app with a tiny, sharp minus sign sitting right in front of their balance. They overdraft by exactly $4 on a forgotten automatic subscription. The predatory $35 fee hits their ledger within the hour, and they feel that heavy, silent exhaustion settle straight into their chest. They try to call support, navigating a looping phone tree only to hear a mechanical voice read from a rigid script, telling them fees cannot be reversed. That person sitting in the dark doesn't know it yet, but the system isn't broken at all. The software algorithm isn't experiencing a glitch, and the bank isn't making an error. The system is working exactly the way it was engineered to work from the very beginning. The exact same multi-billion-dollar institution that will one day fly an executive team out to ask your personal opinion on global trends is currently punishing an exhausted human being for simply not having enough money to survive the week. You are the exact same human being at every single one of these balances. You possess the same core identity, the same heart, and the same fundamental human worth. But the system doesn't see your humanity. The bank simply decides exactly who you are allowed to be based entirely on the digits sitting next to your name.